evening, and welcome to Coach World TV. I'm Terry Yoffe, and my guest this evening is the very lovely Sallie Fraenkel.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you. Sallie is Chief Marketing Officer for Spa Finder, and Spa Finder, if I get it correct, is the global spa and wellness resource connecting the consumer with the perfect well-being experience. Did I get that right?
You did it perfectly.
Okay.
Well done.
Great. Sallie's going to tell us about Spa Finder and the wonderful and glorious opportunities that one might find on their website.
Well, thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
I hope people can find glorious and wonderful opportunities
I'm sure they
on
can.
our website. But basically, Spa Finder, as you said, is a website. It's easy to find. It's www.spafinder.com. And what we do is we work with spas and wellness outlets throughout the world. And what we do is try to help people find those kind of experiences. So, for example, we work with day spas. You've probably been to a day spa.
Oh, I've been to a few.
Most people, well, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of people have. We also work with medical spas, and we work with hotels and resort spas. We work with destination spas, and most recently we've been expanding very rapidly into the world of wellness, which I can tell you a little bit more about. But
absolutely.
you know, soon we're going to be having all sorts of yoga studios and Pilates studios and wellness coaches and nutritionists and everything related to spa and wellness, so that when people come to our site, you can do a search. So you can search for New York, or you can search if you're in Florida, wherever you may be, and find that kind of spa or wellness outlet that you're looking for.
Well, so tell us how one would navigate the site and, you know, all the goodies that are on there so people get an idea. I know you say there are day spas and hotel spas and all of that.
Right.
But,
well, you know, it's not hard. Like most websites, once you get to the home page of the website, you know, you're led through all sorts of things, and it just really depends what you're looking for. So, you know, to give you an example, let's say you go to Spa Finder and maybe you want to find a deal. Okay. Maybe
that's always great.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to find a deal
Exactly.
at a spa?
I think so. So, you know, let's take the example that you live on the Upper East Side. Maybe you live in the East 80s, per se. So you would go to our site. Maybe you do live in the East 80s.
I do.
And you would put in your zip code.
Okay.
Very simple. And then you'd hit, you know, search. And then you'd get a whole set of search results. And you could then filter them. So what that means is you get all of these different spas and yoga and whatever it may be in your neighborhood. And then you can filter them. Let's say you want to go find a Thai massage. You can, yes, exactly. So you can, you know, presumably find a Thai massage in your neighborhood. What you could also do is, in many cases, you can actually book your spa treatment through our site, which is kind of fun. So, or also you can find a deal. So when you've done your search for the Upper East Side, the East 80s, and you look at your search results, you can find spas that specifically have deals that they're offering currently. Or so there's so many different options. Plus, of course, you can read a lot of editorial content. We have a lot of original content. So let's say you're interested in learning more about the benefits of sleep. You know, that's part of the spa lifestyle, and who doesn't want to know more about it? We all are sleep deprived.
Right.
Or how to reduce stress, which is, of course, a very big subject. A lot of people really need to reduce their stress. In fact, that you may not know this, that's the #1 reason that people actually go to spas, is to reduce their stress.
I can actually understand that. Being a personal and business coach, I do get clients that are looking to figure out a way to have more of a work-life balance. And certainly, you know, how they do it and what's entailed and what they have to say yes to and what they have to say no to is very much a part of it. But, you know, bringing in the whole spa factor where to get de-stressed through the many, many types of treatments, to me sounds absolutely fabulous. I'm a definite proponent of spas.
Yeah, so am I. It's interesting that you bring up the idea of work-family balance, because, you know, we at Spa Finder talk a lot about the wellness lifestyle and what makes the wellness lifestyle. And of course, a big component of the wellness lifestyle is balance, and being able to balance all the various aspects of your life. Because so many people now, you know, you're not only balancing your work, but you're balancing your family. You may be balancing care of an elder parent. You may be balancing, you know, your health needs, or there's so many different things that go on in that. And spas, for a very long time, have been dealing with this. And in fact, you know, one of the things that I'm very struck by, the fact that this is, you know, coach world, is this, that we're seeing a big rise in wellness coaching. And in our world, what that means is, you know, somebody to help you and work with you on sort of what, you know, you might say are all the mind, body, and spirit aspects of your life. So, you know, the body part, of course, being fitness and how you keep yourself in shape, and, you know, and the mind part of it, of course, and the spirit part of it. The mind part of it is, you know, the relaxation and de-stressing or meditation. And spirit, the spiritual side of it is, you know, falls a little bit onto, you know, how you finding the meaning and the purpose in your life. And all of these things come together to help you create balance.
And you always hear about mind, body, spirit. I mean, I had a trainer who was actually on the show back last year, and she talks about mind, body, and spirit, and how certainly I'm not per se a wellness coach. However, in working with somebody, you have to take into account every part of them. Certainly taking care of yourself fitness-wise, as you said, and you're finding so many more places. Near me, they opened up a pure yoga.
Oh, yes.
And then there's one not too far away. So certainly a lot more people are becoming aware of the whole, not only exercise, but the whole yoga for meditation and deep thinking and awareness. And again, the body and the mental is also, you know, how do you keep your mind? And I certainly work with clients on, you know, sometimes we can't change what's going on out in the world.
No.
We can only change how we come to what's going out. That's the mind. That you can't have it be clutching onto every little thing that goes on. And we're all guilty in some ways of that.
Yeah, no, attitude, and attitude is very important. And all of these things are definitely part of, you know, the wellness and spa lifestyle. And in fact, you know, one of the things that we see at Spa Finder is, you know, this concept of spa and wellness coming together, and it's almost becoming synonymous. You know,
Absolutely.
And once upon a time, it used to be that people might think of spa as a place to go to have a massage, but now what's happening, you know, especially in our country, is with all of the issues with healthcare, and, you know, that we're seeing a big trend towards, you know, really needing to take responsibility for your own health and wellness, because we can't be sure what's going to be happening, you know, in the medical system. So, you know, this idea of spa and wellness is converging, and so, you know, this is becoming really, really important in terms of taking care of yourself, taking responsibility for your health, your life, your well-being, you know, and spas are playing a huge role in this. So I personally find it an incredibly exciting and gratifying area to be in. So,
and tell us a little bit about your story, Sallie's story, about how you migrated from being with Showtime to the world of spas.
Oh, well, as you know, because we met on a panel talking about career transition.
Almost a year ago.
Gosh,
yeah,
where did that
time
go?
flies.
You know, very fortuitous night. This is a second career for me. My first career, as you just said, was at Showtime, the cable television channel, where I worked for 20 years. And I know, I hardly seem old enough to have worked there for 20 years.
That's all right, you started when you were 4. It's okay, Sally.
But after 20 years, we parted ways, and I thought to myself, you know, I could stay in the entertainment industry, work for a television network or in cable, or, you know, or I could really do something different. And I was ready for this next chapter. And in fact, I actually employed an executive coach, which is really one of the best experiences I've had. And I have
Sure.
told many people that when you're in transition, it's a great service to take
Sure,
advantage
absolutely.
of. And through working with this executive coach, I identified 3 areas that I was passionate about. And those areas were food, travel, and spas and wellness.
It all sounds very yummy.
Yeah,
Every
actually,
one of them.
it's a great combination. And in
Yeah.
fact, I've been fortunate enough to find all 3 in my career at Spa Finder. So it's really been a dream job. So by working with this coach, what happened was once I identified that I wanted to work in the spa industry, amazingly, it very quickly led me down a path where I ended up meeting the CEO of my company, my boss, and it was wonderful. And you know, the rest is history. I've been there almost 7 years, and this is truly my dream job. So,
No, it
I mean, I tell
sounds that
people all
way.
the time that, you know, if you want to make a transition, it is possible. It can be done. I mean, these things are within anybody's reach.
They are, and you know, it doesn't always have to be the obvious path. Where I come out of advertising sales and spent many years doing that, and then started my own rep company. And I could have kept going down that path,
Right.
but you know, it just didn't feel right anymore.
Yes.
I really wanted to change, and I saw, you know, the book Who Moved My Cheese. I kept going down this path, and just the cheese had gone, and I had to find another path.
Right.
And I think because I spent so many years in therapy that I became a student of the human mind.
Yes.
And thought I'd go back to school and become a therapist. Instead, I chose an alternative path, which was coaching. So, yes, it's always possible to make a transition, and it's not always down the path you think you're going to go.
No, but you were obviously smart enough to recognize that, and I think that, you know, a lot of people don't always recognize it. But again, you know, it's another, you know, another thing that you really can do at a spa, especially if you go to a destination spa, is that you can work on these kinds of issues. And interestingly enough, what I didn't say in terms of my transition from my first career to my second career was my mom had taken me to Canyon Ranch for my
That's a
35th.
treat.
Yes, I tell you, that was an incredible birthday present. And she took me to Canyon Ranch, and it really transformed my life because she took me at a time when I was trying to balance my 7 and 9-year-old daughters with my career and my husband and my family and my volunteer work, and I just was, you know, a mess. I just, you know,
Right.
I'm from the generation of thinking we can do it all, which, you know, something's got to give.
Yeah, right.
And Canyon Ranch showed me, I learned so much in that first visit, and my mother and I went together every year until she died, and so it was very special.
Yeah,
And I learned then the power of a destination spa experience and how it can really have a profound effect on your life. And I would say that that was really the beginning for me of a lot of this awareness of how the mind, body, spirit, all of that can come together, and you know, just how you can achieve more balance in your life and more, you know, putting yourself onto that, figuring out what it is you want with your life.
So that experience in Canyon Ranch, what light bulb went off for you? Was it just being able to de-stress and to just sit back and maybe look at things from a different perspective, where you could look at the landscape and say, gee, whatever?
That's an interesting question. You know, when I think back, without giving away my age, how long ago it was.
We don't want to do that. This is not that type of show.
You know, I think what it showed me was, you know, I was sort of on this metaphorical treadmill of trying to do everything and really feeling definitely stressed, also feeling what happens, and this is very typical when, you know, you're a mother of relatively young children, you're putting a lot out and you're not always bringing much back in for yourself.